Words that shape worlds, the hidden power of your choices. Welcome to an extraordinary journey of self discovery and societal transformation. Today, we're delving into a conversation that has the potential to fundamentally alter how you perceive your place in the world and the impact of your daily choices. I recently had the privilege of sitting down with Dr. Daisy M. Jones, a visionary thinker and catalyst for positive change whose insights have sparked a global movement of conscious living. Dr. Jones's work has touched millions, inspiring individuals to recognize their innate power to shape not only their personal realities, but also the collective fabric of our shared human experience. Imagine for a moment that every word you speak, every thought you entertain, and every decision you make, no matter how seemingly insignificant, is actively sculpting the world around you. It's a concept that might initially sound like something out of a science fiction novel, but as we'll explore today, it's a profound truth with far-reaching implications for how we live our lives and interact with the world around us. Dr. Jones posits a revolutionary idea. Our decisions in life create the environment in which we exist. It's not just about the big life-altering choices, the career moves, the relationships we pursue, but also the small, seemingly inconsequential decisions we make every single day. The words we choose, the thoughts we allow to take root, the attitudes we adopt. All of these are the building blocks of our personal reality. Now, I can almost hear the skeptics among you thinking, come on, that sounds nice in theory, but how does that actually play out in the real world? Well, now let me share a story that Dr. Jones told me, which beautifully illustrates this concept in action. Meet Sarah, a young woman who had always wrestled with self-doubt. Every morning, she would look in the mirror and unleash a barrage of criticism, picking apart her appearance, questioning her abilities, doubting her worth. And unsurprisingly, her days were often filled with anxiety, missed opportunities, and a pervasive sense of inadequacy. One day, Sarah decided to embark on a simple yet radical experiment. Instead of her usual self-criticism, she committed to starting each day by saying just one positive thing about herself. Just one thing. At first, it felt awkward, almost silly, but she persisted day after day. A week went by, then a month, and slowly, almost imperceptibly at first, Sarah began to notice changes. She found herself standing a little taller, speaking up more in meetings, taking on challenges she would have previously shied away from. The world around her seemed to respond differently too. Opportunities started presenting themselves, relationships improved, and she felt a newfound sense of confidence and purpose. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Did the world actually change? Or did Sarah's perception of it change, leading her to interact with it differently? The answer, according to Dr. Jones, is both. By changing the words she spoke to herself, Sarah altered her internal landscape, which in turn affected how she engaged with the external world. This story underscores a crucial point that Dr. Jones emphasizes. Words have power. They're not just sounds we make or letters on a page. They're the very fabric of our reality. The language we use, both internally and externally, shapes our perceptions, our actions, and ultimately our lives. Think about it. When you say, I can't do this, you're not just expressing a momentary doubt. You're creating a reality in which that task becomes insurmountable. You're programming your brain to look for evidence that supports your inability. On the flip side, when you say, this is challenging, but I'm capable of figuring it out, you open up a world of possibilities. You prime your mind to seek solutions, to persevere, to grow. But here's where it gets really mind-bending. Dr. Jones argues that this power of words extends far beyond our personal sphere. It ripples out into the world around us, affecting our interactions, our relationships, and even our collective reality as a society. Have you ever been in a room where someone's negative attitude seemed to suck the energy out of everyone present? It's like they brought their own personal rain cloud, and suddenly everyone's reaching for an umbrella. Or conversely, have you experienced how a single person's enthusiasm can lift the spirits of an entire group? That's the power of words and attitudes in action, folks. Dr. Jones challenges us to think of ourselves not just as passive inhabitants of our environment, but as active creators. Every word we speak, every attitude we adopt is like a drop of water in the ocean of humanity. And just as the ocean, the most powerful force of nature on earth, is made up of countless individual drops, so too is the collective human experience shaped by each of our contributions. This perspective imbues our everyday interactions with profound significance. That casual conversation with a stranger, it's an opportunity to add a drop of kindness to the world. The way you speak to your colleagues or family members, it's shaping the emotional climate of your workplace and home. Even your internal dialogue, though private, contributes to the energy you bring into every situation. Now, I can almost hear some of you thinking, whoa, hold up, that's a lot of pressure. Do I really have to be conscious of every single word I say? And that's a fair point. We're human after all. We have bad days, we make mistakes, we say things we don't mean. But here's the beautiful thing: awareness is the first step. Once we understand the power of our words and decisions, we can start making more conscious choices. Dr. Jones emphasizes that this isn't about striving for perfection. It's about growing through our journey of life. It's about recognizing that as long as we're breathing, we have the responsibility and the privilege of contributing to making this world a better place. This brings us to another crucial aspect of Dr. Jones's philosophy: the importance of focusing on the positive. She encourages us to actively look for the positive effects of what we allow to take up space in our spirit. This doesn't mean ignoring problems or pretending everything is always sunshine and rainbows. Rather, it's about training ourselves to find the opportunities for growth, the silver linings, the lessons in every situation. Let me share another story that Dr. Jones told me, which beautifully illustrates this point. There was a man named David who had lost his job during an economic downturn. Initially, he was devastated. He spent weeks feeling angry, depressed, and fearful about the future. But then, inspired by the idea of looking for positive effects, he decided to shift his perspective. He started asking himself, what opportunities does this situation present? What can I learn from this? How can I use this time to grow? This shift didn't immediately solve his problems, but it changed how he approached them. He used his newfound free time to learn new skills, reconnect with old passions, and even volunteer in his community. To his surprise, this period of unemployment, which he had initially seen as a disaster, became a transformative time in his life. It led him to discover a new career path that was more fulfilling than his previous job. More importantly, it taught him resilience, adaptability, and the power of a positive mindset. David's story is a powerful reminder that our perspective shapes our reality. By choosing to look for the positive, even in challenging situations, we open ourselves up to growth, learning, and unexpected opportunities. But Dr. Jones takes this idea even further. She argues that by consistently choosing to focus on the positive, by consciously adding love, peace, joy, and understanding to our interactions, we're not just improving our own lives, we're contributing to the betterment of humanity as a whole. Think about it. When you choose to respond to a difficult situation with patience and understanding rather than anger, you're not just avoiding a conflict, you're creating a ripple effect of positivity. When you take the time to truly listen to someone, to seek to understand their perspective, you're not just having a conversation. You're building bridges of empathy and connection. These may seem like small actions, but remember the ocean analogy. Each of these choices, these words, these attitudes is a drop, and together they have the power to create a sea change in our collective human experience. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. This all sounds great in theory, but the world can be a harsh place. How can my individual actions really make a difference? And that's a valid question. We're bombarded daily with news of conflicts, injustices, and challenge on a global scale. It's easy to feel overwhelmed, to think that our individual choices don't matter in the grand scheme of things. But Dr. Jones offers a powerful counterargument to this mindset. She reminds us that humanity, much like the ocean, is the most powerful force of spirit on earth. And just as the ocean is made up of individual drops of water, humanity is made up of individuals, of you and me. When we come together, united in our commitment to adding positivity to the world, to making conscious choices about the reality we're creating with our words and actions, we become an unstoppable force for good. We create what Dr. Jones calls the power of love and unity. This isn't just feel good rhetoric. History is full of examples of how individual actions, when joined together, have led to monumental changes. Think of every major social movement, every leap forward in human rights, every instance of communities coming together in times of crisis. These all started with individual choices, individual words, individual actions. Dr. Jones challenges us to see ourselves as part of this grand tapestry of humanity, to recognize that every word we speak, every choice we make is a thread in this tapestry. We have the power to choose what kind of thread we'll be. Will we add color and strength? Or will we create weak spots and tears? This perspective imbues our daily lives with a sense of purpose and significance. It reminds us that even on days when we feel small or insignificant, our choices matter. That smile you give to a stranger, that encouraging word to a friend, that moment you choose patience over anger, these are all contributions to the collective human experience. But let's be real for a moment. This isn't always easy. We all have days when negativity feels overwhelming, when it's a struggle just to get out of bed, let alone try to add positivity to the world. And that's okay. Dr. Jones emphasizes that this is a journey, not a destination. It's about progress, not perfection. The key is to start where you are. Maybe today, adding positivity to the world looks like simply choosing not to pass on that piece of gossip. Maybe it's taking a deep breath and counting to 10 before responding to a frustrating email. Maybe it's just saying one kind thing to yourself in the mirror. These may seem like small actions, but remember, drops in the ocean. Over time, as we consistently make these choices, as we become more aware of the power of our words and decisions, we create lasting change, both in ourselves and in the world around us. Dr. Jones's message is ultimately one of empowerment and responsibility. It's a call to recognize the incredible power we hold in shaping our reality and contributing to the collective human experience. It's an invitation to see every interaction, every word, every choice as an opportunity to add love, peace, joy, and understanding to the world. So, as we wrap up this exploration of Dr. Jones's transformative ideas, I want to leave you with a challenge that has the potential to not only change your life, but to ripple out and touch countless others. For the next week, I want you to become a conscious creator of your reality. Pay close attention to your words, both those you speak aloud and those you say to yourself. Notice how they shape your perception of reality. Look for opportunities to consciously choose words and attitudes that add positivity to your environment. But don't stop there. I want you to take it a step further. Each day, make a deliberate choice to add something positive to the world. It doesn't have to be grand or dramatic. Maybe it's a genuine compliment to a coworker. Perhaps it's picking up a piece of litter in your neighborhood. Or it could be taking a moment to really listen to someone without judgment. And here's the kicker. I want you to keep a journal of these actions and their effects, not just on others, but on you. How does it feel to consciously choose positivity? What changes do you notice in your interactions, in your perception of the world around you? Remember, you're not just doing this for yourself, you're doing it as a vital, irreplaceable drop in the ocean of humanity. Your choices, your words, your attitudes ripple out into the world in ways you might never fully realize. In the words of Dr. Jones, if you're breathing, you're responsible for making this world a better place. It's a big responsibility, but it's also an incredible opportunity, an opportunity to create, to grow, to contribute to something greater than ourselves. So let me ask you this. What kind of reality will you choose to create with your words today? What drop will you add to the ocean of humanity? The power is in your hands, or rather in your words. Use it wisely, use it consciously, and watch as the world around you transforms one word at a time. As we conclude this talk, I want you to take a moment to reflect on the immense power you hold, the power to shape your reality, to influence those around you, and to contribute to the collective human experience. It's a power that comes with great responsibility, but also with incredible potential for positive change. Imagine a world where we all recognize this power, where we all make conscious choices about the words we use, the attitudes we adopt, and the actions we take. What kind of world could we create together? The choice is yours. Will you continue to passively inhabit your world? Or will you step up and become an active creator of your reality? Will you let your words slip by unnoticed, or will you harness their power to create positive change? The world is waiting for your contribution, your unique voice, your perspective, your positivity. It's time to speak your world into existence. It's time to become the author of your own story and a co-author of our collective human narrative. So go forth from this talk with a new awareness of the power of your words. Speak kindness into existence. Cultivate understanding through your language. Create a reality of love and unity with every interaction. And remember, your words are not just words, they're the building blocks of our shared reality. Use them wisely, use them consciously, and together, let's create a world we're proud to inhabit. Thank you.